The technology of phones is taking over, and we are so attached to them. Look around on public transport and all you will see is people glued to their phones. No one looks about anymore. Like, the only time we look about is when someone new joins the journey, and we'll all just glance up from our phones like, just waiting for him to get the phone out. And you're like the new guy getting onto the tram, like, ooh, he's one of us. Next time you're on public transport, I dare you to just look around. You're the odd one out, it doesn't feel comfortable. Oh Jesus, I really shouldn't be doing this. I really shouldn't be doing this. Really shouldn't be doing this. You feel like almost worried that if you get caught by the people around you, they're going to make like some sort of WhatsApp group based solely around you. Oh my God, have you seen this guy looking at me? It doesn't feel safe to do. And I hate to say it, but I think eventually there's going to be a list for people that look around too much. Because the sad fact is, we live in a world where people would rather look at a picture of their own face with a dog filter on it than another human being. The last time I made eye contact with someone on public transport was only because of the fact I was in the background of their selfie, and it was uncomfortable. I've never looked so deep into the eyes of a woman who's pretending to be a dog. And the way we use our phones says a lot about us. People of my generation, the Millennials, we go for the thumb approach. It shows we're comfortable with technology, and like the thumb, it's built for texting. You know what I mean? You can get around the screen, it's agile. Anywhere you want to go, it's there. It's like a cokehead on a dance floor, anything's possible. I've had 3 cups of coffee, and I think that's where the cokehead on the dance floor came from. The more senior approach is the index finger. Tends to be popular for people over the age of 45. These are the people who tend to have like a big flap on the front of their phone, or as I like to call it, the twat flap. My mum is one of these people. I'm not saying you're a twat mum, you just know how I feel about it. My mum's phone flap is that big that when she goes to take pictures, it actually gets in the way. And instead of like accepting the responsibility of it, she will blame the camera. She goes, it's rubbish, my phone, it doesn't work, it's rubbish. Newsflash for your mum, it's not the phone, it's you. Like, the flap on her phone is that big. She has gone to use her phone on a windy day and her phone case actually slapped her. And I think we know as a society, old people tend to struggle with technology. Like, a few years ago, my dad rang me when I was in a library and he was the one whispering. But I understand it's not their fault, they're just not used to it. Like, I once saw an old woman on the train turn the page in her Kindle by licking her thumb and then pressing a button. And like, she's seen me see her. So she wasn't comfortable with that. So she tried to play it off like she'd finished a packet of crisps. She was like this. One of my favourite things to do is to watch people on public transport who forgot their phone. And I don't mean in a sense that they've lost it, they've just not brought it with them. Because you can like see the sense of panic on their faces. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to just look around. I can't handle this pressure, I'm not doing this, I'm not going on a list, I'm not doing it. Like, the sense of panic on their face is only ever seen in a game of Pictionary. When time is running out, and they're no closer to getting the correct answer. So they just start like aggressively circling things, hoping that's going to like push the point home. So they think, I'll flip the page, nice fresh start, maybe that'll help. And they flip it and they find that page has already been drawn on. There's no room for them to illustrate their third attempt of a towel rack. You're dead in the water, time has run out and Carol's team has just won, but you demand a rematch. But the point I'm making is, technology needs to slow down. Like, even I can't keep up with it. I struggle with the rotating doors at my office, or as I like to call them, the carousel of broken dreams. Like, a couple of weeks ago, I was walking out of my office building through the glass rotating doors, and as I got into one of the 3 glass cubicles, someone else was walking in. So like, mid-rotation with my hand against the glass, I just stopped and suggested to the person they could get in the cubicle opposite me. For 5 seconds, I stood in a glass box, waving at a stranger to join me. They didn't. They just fucking stared at me. I felt like a freak being kept in a massive jar. And I understand, if I was looking at my phone, I could have totally avoided this. None of it would have happened. But I'm now worried that my office building have a WhatsApp group based around me.